Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Good morning. It's Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead as you get through this day and this week. Today I want to talk about something interesting and something to ponder and think about in the world we live in today. We always assume this world is, the big companies in this world are Apple, Microsoft, Google and Tesla are the most powerful companies. But I would like to burst that bubble today and tell you the biggest companies are three of them, and they control pretty much the whole world in terms of owning stocks and shares and owning these other companies, and they spread throughout the world. And this is BlackRock, Vanguard, and Cargill. So why am I picking this topic today, talking about these three companies controlling everything? If you see in the corridor of power spanning over a diverse landscape from Wall Street to ancient India, you'll see that throughout human history, the concentration of power, whether it's been in corporations or kingdoms, have had profound implications to our society as a whole and to humanity as a whole. From the Gilded Ages, when the tycoons, to the monopolies of the early 20th century, and we have always had these tales of power being gripped in very few. And if you look at even in India, which has a long, rich history and a vibrant mythology, there's lots of these stories where power being concentrated in a few hands has had detrimental effect. The Mughal Empire, for instance, especially when Emperor Akbar saw centralized power, while a golden age of culture, it planted also the seeds of discontent among the local powers. And if we take the British East India Company, that swiftly shifted from trade to ruling this great country, draining India's wealth and leading to events that were catastrophic to the Bengal famine, what happened in 1770. These historical epochs and other things is what I want to talk about today, and why having power concentrated like this in a few hands is not good. Even if we take our Indian mythologies like Mahabharata, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, Mahabharata is nothing but Kauravas' thirst for power, leading to an epic war, the Kurukshetra war, with tragic consequences for the entire subcontinent. And even in Ravana's kingdom of Lanka, in Ravana's story, you can see the unwielding power he held in Lanka led to the tragic downfall because of his unchecked desire. Whether it is corporations today or kingdoms from long ago, the story remains the same, that when power rests in a few hands, it can shape the destinies and also sow the seeds of its own destruction. This is calls for introspection and awareness, and for this understanding of the past and the present, so we can navigate to a better future. So while assuming the tech giants, like I said in the beginning, Apple, Microsoft, and Google and Tesla wield most of this power, the three corporations I mentioned in the beginning, BlackRock, Vanguard, and Cargill, they have unparalleled influence and control over various global sectors. BlackRock, for instance, is primarily an investment fund with over $10 trillion in assets. It holds shares in major corporations ranging from tech companies to all these so-called industries which are contributing to our greenhouse and climate change, with significant assets and direct influence on powerful governments, including the ones in China and in US. It owns an extensive amount of global real estate, indirectly controlling housing markets and affecting housing availability and affordability. BlackRock also has significant stakes in Vanguard, further concentrating global financial powers. Vanguard's reach. Vanguard alone, with BlackRock, is among the world's two largest index and fund managing companies. So that gives you a context of what Vanguard and BlackRock. I just spoke about BlackRock, and now Vanguard with BlackRock is two of the world's largest index fund managing companies. What are index funds? Index funds are nothing but your stock market. They're one of the two world's largest companies invest in stock market across the globe. They play a significant role in the US politics, and they have intricate shareholding relationships with each other, creating a feedback loop of concentrated power. With all this power potential integration in BlackRock's offering, the implications of what's happening in things like even crypto. Why do we say crypto going the way it's going? Is because of all these guys having a pie in that also. Cargill, on the other hand, is a food control company. It was established in 1865. They have grown into dominate food, global food industries. Originally involved in grain storage, they have expanded their control into the entire food supply chain, from seeds to tools of transport of food and the storage of food. Cargill influence means that most consumers these days, the products they consume, involved in some way or shape, they've been directly influenced by Cargill, be it directly or indirectly. So you're saying, Vinod, what is all this? We talked about how power in a few it's a bad idea. We spoke about historically how these things happen poorly. And then we spoke some mythological things. And now you're telling me about these. So what is the correlation and all this? The point is, throughout history we have seen this. When a few men or women control too much of everything, it leads to problems and discontent in society and for humanity as a whole, creating the perfect storm or a situation for a change in the paradigm. Are we reached that point? I don't know. But it looks a little bit alarming when one company or two companies or three companies pretty much controls everything we eat, wherever we stay, and whatever we buy is controlled by three companies. It does open a lot of things up for question. These companies have expansive control and influence and mean that large portions of our global economy and food supply and financial markets are in the hand of just a few corporations, which is never a good thing. They're not even in the hands of our governments, they're in the hands of corporations. Their actions and decisions will have ripple effects throughout our industries, affecting prices and availability and even government decisions. The present narrative portrayed these corporations are evil. It's not what I'm trying to say, that they all have all the powers and influence. The conversation which I want you to have is something to think about, and I want to encourage you to reflect on this. Is this kind of concentrated power good for us? What are the implications for everyday people? What are the implications for society and us as whole? In this day and age with climate change and global warming and weather pattern changing and global unrest, and there seems to be general animosity in the air, what can these corporations do and contribute to help us, or at least not make things worse, is something I like to think about. Anyway, as you run into this week and as you're running into this day, just wanted to give you some food for thought, not anything more than that. I'm not here to bring out any conspiracy theories or claim anything that I know. I don't. These are some strange patterns which I'm seeing, which I thought was interesting, and I thought I'd share it with you as a conversation. Thanks for listening to the podcast today. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead, and I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Thank you.